All right, so welcome to another deep dive, everybody. Today, we're unpacking a story that I think you're really going to find inspiring.
It's one of passion, resilience, and just staying true to who you are.
You might already know his work. We're going behind the scenes with Wode Maya.
The African YouTuber who's really changing how the world sees his continent.
Exactly. We're going to explore his journey, the challenges he's faced, and what he's learned about creating content that makes a real impact.
Yeah, and what's so fascinating about his story is that his path to success, it wasn't this straight line.
Right.
It's full of twists and turns, and I think it really emphasizes how important adaptability and perseverance are.
Oh, absolutely. Now, you might be surprised to learn that Wode Maya's journey, it actually started with comedy skits.
Comedy skits.
Yeah, so picture this. He's studying engineering in China,
Wow.
a field that demands so much focus and discipline.
Yeah.
And in his free time, he's making people laugh.
That's amazing. It really speaks to his creativity, and even back then, this drive to connect with people.
Right. And what's even more interesting is that his initial motivation, it wasn't fame or fortune.
Right.
He just loved talking. And he figured, why not get paid for it?
Makes sense.
Classic entrepreneurial spirit, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But that entrepreneurial spirit was definitely put to the test. Do you remember the story about his father?
Oh, his dad's reaction.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. When his dad found out about his YouTube channel, he was furious.
Furious.
It caused a real rift between them.
You know, we often hear about this generational gap, right?
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to understanding the potential of online platforms.
Yeah.
I think this story, it goes even deeper, though.
Oh, for sure.
It makes you think about those moments when your passions clash with your family's expectations.
It's a good reminder that, pursuing those unconventional paths, they often require some pretty difficult conversations and a lot of understanding from your loved ones.
Yeah, definitely.
But speaking of unconventional paths, Bobiudi's shift to showcasing Africa, that came from such a personal place. Yeah, he actually started by using his Chinese language skills to challenge stereotypes about the continent.
Wow.
Stereotypes that he saw from the people around him in China.
It's such a powerful example of how personal experiences can really shape a mission.
Oh, absolutely.
He turned his own frustration with these misconceptions into a way to educate and inspire others.
Absolutely. And you know what? He didn't wait for fancy equipment or a big budget to get started.
Oh, wow.
His early videos, they were filmed with really basic gear.
Wow.
And for a while, he was even using a friend's camera.
I think that really underscores his message of just starting.
Right.
Like, you don't need all the fancy stuff, all the bells and whistles to get your message out there.
You don't.
It's about the passion, the drive to create.
Exactly. And talk about drive. He eventually quit his engineering job to pursue YouTube full time.
Wow. That's a big leap of faith.
It is. And that meant a pretty significant drop in income.
Yeah, I bet. Walking away from that stable income to chase a dream. There must have been moments of doubt.
Oh, definitely.
Times when he wondered, did I make the right decision?
Absolutely. It's a powerful reminder that pursuing a passion often requires sacrifice and resilience.
Yeah, absolutely.
But, he was a one-man show for a while.
Really?
Yeah, handling everything.
Wow.
Filming, editing, marketing. But his approach to content strategy, it really evolved over time.
Interesting. It's so interesting to see how he adapted. Initially, he didn't really prioritize titles, thumbnails, any of that optimization stuff. He was really focused on the story itself.
Yeah.
But then over time, he began to understand that those elements, they play a big role in attracting viewers.
For sure.
And just expanding his reach.
Yeah, he essentially had to master, the art of the YouTube algorithm.
Right.
Understanding how those little details can impact visibility.
Exactly.
Audience engagement.
Exactly. And he even hired someone specifically for thumbnail creation.
Yeah.
Which is a pretty smart move.
Really smart. It shows that even experienced creators, they still need to delegate and collaborate to really stay ahead.
Oh, for sure.
But it wasn't all smooth sailing, was it?
No, it never is.
Remember when one of his older videos, it suddenly went viral?
Oh, yeah, that was a huge turning point for him. And the reason for that sudden popularity, a title change.
Yeah, a title change.
He realized his original title wasn't capturing what people were actually searching for.
Right.
So he made it more specific, more attention-grabbing, and the video took off.
It's a perfect example of how understanding search engine optimization, it can have a huge impact.
Huge.
It's not just about creating great content.
Right,
it's
yeah.
about making sure people can actually find it.
Exactly. It's like we said earlier, the online world is always evolving.
Constantly.
And creators need to adapt.
They have to. But Wode Maya's journey, it also highlights those ethical dilemmas that come with having a large platform.
Oh, definitely.
He's talked about how disappointing it is when companies he's partnered with or vouched for have failed to deliver.
It's a tough situation. He actually shared a specific story about a real estate company that let down both him and his viewers.
It did.
And it raises this really crucial question about trust and responsibility, especially when you're in a position to influence others.
It's a reminder that creators, they really have a responsibility to do their due diligence before aligning themselves with a brand or a product.
Absolutely. And speaking of challenges, who could forget the hacking incident?
Oh, that was a nightmare. He was in Europe. His entire YouTube account was compromised.
Imagine that, your livelihood suddenly hanging in the balance.
Yeah.
It had to be so stressful.
I can't even imagine. It was a huge wake-up call, not just for him,
Right.
but for anybody who relies on the internet.
For their work, their income.
Exactly. And I think it also highlights the importance of diversifying your online presence.
Definitely. Putting all your eggs in one basket can be risky, especially in the digital world.
It really can. So he had to learn about online security the hard way
Yeah.
and rethink his entire strategy.
It makes you think about what steps are you taking to protect your own online presence.
It does. It's a reminder that we all need to be proactive about cybersecurity, have those backup plans in place.
For sure.
But even with all the ups and downs, there's no denying Wode Maya's success.
He's incredibly successful. It makes you wonder, how does he define success?
Right. What does success look like for him?
Yeah, that's where things get really interesting. See, he didn't start thinking of YouTube as a business until 2020.
Really?
Before that, it was all about passion and impact.
Wow. He even admitted that for a long time, he didn't even know how to monetize his content.
Which is pretty remarkable.
It is. It really challenges those conventional notions of success, doesn't it?
It does. It makes you think.
It does. He's been laser focused on making a difference. In fact, he said that the meaning of life is all about impact.
Impact. And he put his money where his mouth is, you know. He often chooses to create videos that he knows will have a positive impact.
Really?
Even if they don't go viral or attract millions of views.
So he's more interested in quality over quantity.
Absolutely.
It's refreshing to hear that in a world that's obsessed with likes and views.
So true.
So what advice does he have for aspiring creators who want to follow in his footsteps?
Well, he really stresses the importance of authenticity,
Right.
finding your niche,
Yeah.
and embracing discipline.
Discipline. He also talks about the power of networking, building those meaningful connections. I love that quote that he has. Your network is your net worth.
Oh, that's a good one. And he actually shared a story about how that philosophy played out in his own life.
Oh, really?
Remember the passport situation?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he needed to travel urgently, but his passport was full.
Full.
And the standard processing time was 3 months. Yeah, he was in a bind. But then he remembered that advice about networking. He made one phone call and was able to get his passport expedited.
Wow. That's incredible.
It perfectly illustrates how those strong relationships, they can open doors,
They can.
create opportunities. He believes in investing time in getting to know people, building genuine connections.
Right, right. And speaking of advice, there's another piece of wisdom he shared that stuck with me.
Oh, what's that?
Do you remember the one from his mentor about working so hard that you become a phone call away from the president?
Oh, yes. That's such a powerful image, isn't it?
It is.
It's about striving for excellence, building a reputation for reliability, to the point where people in positions of power, they recognize your value.
Yeah. So we've seen how Wode Maya, he went from engineering student to comedy skit creator to this influential YouTube personality.
Wide a journey.
It's been quite a journey. And throughout it all, he's remained committed to authenticity, impact, and using his platform to make a positive difference.
It's inspiring.
It really is. His story's full of valuable lessons about pursuing your passions, overcoming those challenges, and staying true to yourself.
Yeah. It's a reminder that we all have the potential to leave our mark on the world.
We do. But his journey also highlights something else, I think. This constant need to adapt and learn.
Oh, especially in the world of online content creation.
It's constant. He had to figure out titles, thumbnails, optimization, even deal with that major hacking incident.
Right. It's a great reminder that the digital landscape is always changing.
Always changed.
What works today might not work tomorrow. We need to be flexible, willing to embrace new approaches.
He had to become a student of the internet.
He did.
Constantly learning and evolving to stay ahead of the curve.
And that's a valuable lesson for all of us,
It is.
regardless of what we do.
It is.
We need to cultivate this growth mindset and embrace lifelong learning. Be willing to step outside our comfort zones to experiment and adapt.
Absolutely. So, as we wrap up this part of our deep dive into Wode Maya's incredible journey, I want to leave you with a thought-provoking question.
All right, what is it?
How might this apply to your life or your career? What skills or strategies will you need to cultivate to really thrive in a world that's constantly changing?
It's a great question to ponder.
It is.
And it's something we can explore further as we continue with Wode Maya's insights and philosophies in the next part of our deep dive.
Exactly.
You know, it's fascinating how he had to become a student of the internet,
Yeah.
constantly learning and evolving to stay ahead of the game. It's like success isn't a destination.
Right.
It's an ongoing journey of learning and adapting and changing.
It really is. And in this next part of our deep dive, I think it would be valuable to explore some of Wode Maya's personal philosophies.
His philosophies.
Yeah, the values and beliefs that have really guided him on this journey.
Right.
One of the things that struck me was his emphasis on discipline.
Discipline.
He's a big believer in self-discipline.
Yeah, he talked about how it helps him manage his finances,
Right.
control his ego, and even get out of bed on those mornings when you're just exhausted.
Yeah. And he even gave this example of pushing through fatigue to go to work.
Really?
He told his mom, that's what you call discipline.
I like that.
I think it challenges this idea that discipline has to be about harshness or deprivation.
Right.
It's more about making those conscious choices that align with your goals,
Yeah.
even when it's not easy.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It's about having the mental fortitude to overcome challenges and stay committed to what really matters.
absolutely. And he applies that discipline to all areas of his life, including his finances.
Finances.
It's interesting how he manages this cultural expectation of black tax,
Oh, yeah, black tax.
which is something a lot of people might not be familiar with.
Right. It's the expectation that successful individuals will financially support their extended family and community.
Yeah, it's a complex issue, and Wode Maya acknowledges that it can be a significant responsibility.
It can be.
But he doesn't view it as a burden or an entitlement.
Right.
He sees it as an opportunity to give back and make a positive impact
I like that perspective.
on the lives of those around him.
It is a good perspective.
He talked about how the joy he gets from helping others outweighs the financial cost.
That's awesome.
And he believes that when you give generously, you receive even more in return.
That's a beautiful perspective on generosity.
It is. It reminds us that giving isn't just about money.
No?
It's about sharing your blessings and creating this ripple effect of positivity.
Yeah.
And this idea of making a positive impact is really at the heart of everything Wode Maya does.
It seems like it.
When asked about the meaning of life, his answer was simple impact.
Impact.
He's not driven by fame or fortune,
Right.
but by this deep desire to make a difference in the world.
And that's reflected in his content choices.
Yeah, he said he'll choose to create videos that he knows will have a positive impact even if they don't go viral
Wow.
or attract millions of views.
So he's more interested in touching the lives of a few people deeply
Is.
than reaching millions superficially.
Exactly. Quality over quantity.
I love that.
It's a powerful message in today's world of chasing likes and views.
It is.
It's about focusing on the substance of your work
Yeah.
and the positive change you can create.
The real change.
But it hasn't always been easy for him.
Oh, I'm sure.
You know, he's talked about facing negative feedback early in his career,
Really?
particularly about his style and the way he dressed.
Wow.
But he didn't let that criticism define him.
Good for him.
He remained authentic to himself and kept creating content that he believed in.
It's so important.
And now people love him for his unique style and personality.
They do.
It just goes to show that authenticity is always the best approach.
It really is. When you're true to yourself, you attract the right audience. The people who appreciate you for who you are.
And for those who are just starting out,
Yeah.
he encourages them to carve out their own niche and not try to be like anyone else.
Right.
He believes everyone has something unique to offer.
They do.
You know, finding your own voice is key to standing out in a crowded online space.
It is. There's so much noise out there.
There is, and he's right.
Yeah.
But it's not just about finding your voice, it's also about showing up consistently.
Consistent.
He's been creating content for over a decade.
Wow.
And he credits his longevity to his consistency.
I believe it.
He said that consistency is one of the biggest challenges for content creators.
It is? It's so hard.
But it's also the key to building a loyal following.
It's true. It's about showing up even when you don't feel like it,
Yeah.
delivering on your promises to your audience.
Absolutely. Speaking of consistency, Wode Maya is also a voracious reader.
Oh, wow. A reader.
He's always seeking knowledge and inspiration.
That's awesome.
Although he couldn't remember the exact title, he mentioned this book that he recently received as a gift from Jamaica.
Oh, from Jamaica.
Yeah.
What was it about?
It was about the power and potential of Black men,
Wow.
a topic that clearly resonates deeply with him.
It does. It does.
And when asked about the best advice he ever received,
Oh, yeah. The best advice.
he immediately shared the wisdom of a mentor who told him, "Your network is your net worth."
That's so good.
It's a piece of advice he's clearly taken to heart.
Yeah.
He believes in investing time in building those genuine relationships
Right.
and supporting others.
It's not just about what people can do for you.
Yeah.
It's about how you can contribute to a community of support and collaboration.
Right. And building on that advice,
Yeah.
there's another gem from that same mentor that really struck a chord with me.
Oh, tell me.
The idea of working so hard that you become a phone call away from the president.
Whoa, that's an ambitious goal.
It is.
But it's not about chasing fame or power.
No, it's not.
It's about striving for excellence
Right?
and becoming so valuable that people in positions of influence,
Yeah,
they recognize your talents and seek you out.
exactly. It's about building a reputation for reliability,
Right.
expertise.
Being the go-to person.
Yes, becoming a go-to person in your field.
It's amazing.
So as we delve deeper into Wode Maya's journey, it's clear that his success isn't just about creating engaging content.
Right.
It's about his unwavering commitment to authenticity,
Yes.
impact,
Huh.
and personal growth.
I love it.
And it's a reminder that we all have the potential to make a difference in the world,
We do.
regardless of our background.
Or our starting point.
It's about finding our voice,
Yeah.
embracing our unique talents, and building that network of support.
Such good advice.
But it's also about navigating those challenges that come with success,
yeah, for sure.
like dealing with negative feedback,
Mm-hmm.
managing expectations,
Yeah.
staying true to your values.
Wode Maya's story offers such valuable insights into these challenges and how to overcome them.
It does. In the final part of our depth dive,
Yes.
we'll explore some specific strategies and actionable takeaways from his experience that you can apply to your own life. We've talked about so much in our deep dive into Wode Maya's journey. From comedy skits to promoting positive change, he's constantly pushing himself to grow.
Yeah,
It's pretty inspiring.
it is. And in this final part, I think it would be valuable to distill some actionable takeaways from his
Yeah.
experiences, things our listener can actually apply to their own life or their work.
Yeah, perfect. Because it's one thing to admire someone's success,
Right.
but it's another thing entirely to understand the how behind it.
Exactly.
What are some of the strategies that have been key for Wode Maya?
Well, one of the biggest takeaways for me is his approach to content strategy. He didn't start out knowing everything about titles and thumbnails and SEO.
Right.
He had to learn and adapt as he went.
Yeah, it's a great reminder that we don't have to have all the answers right away.
We don't.
We can learn and improve as we go. What's fascinating is that he was willing to experiment
Yeah.
and even hire someone specifically for thumbnail creation when he realized it was a weakness.
Exactly. Recognizing your strengths and weaknesses is so crucial.
It is.
And not being afraid to delegate or seek help in areas where you need it. That's a big part of growth.
Huge. It's about building a team, even if it's just one other person. Now, another thing that really struck me was how he handled the hacking incident.
Oh, yeah.
Talk about a crisis.
Oh, my God.
But instead of letting it defeat him, he used it as an opportunity to learn and diversify.
That's resilience in action.
It is.
It's about viewing setbacks as temporary
right.
and finding ways to bounce back even stronger. In his case, it meant not only beefing up his online security, but also expanding to other platforms,
Yeah,
not putting all your eggs in one basket.
that's such a good point. It's so easy to get comfortable relying on one platform.
Yeah.
But what happens when something goes wrong? It's smart to have those multiple avenues to connect with your audience.
Absolutely. It's about spreading the risk and building a more sustainable presence online.
Right.
But beyond the practical strategies,
Right.
I think what's most impressive is his unwavering commitment to authenticity. Yeah, he faced a lot of criticism early on.
But he never wavered in his belief in himself and his message. It's a powerful lesson for all of us,
It is.
no matter what field we're in.
It really is. Staying true to yourself can be challenging,
Oh, it can.
especially when you're faced with negativity.
Yeah,
But it's essential for building a genuine connection with your audience.
right.
People can spot a fake from a mile away.
Yeah, they can.
Wode Maya's success proves that being authentic, it resonates.
It does. And it's not just about the content you create, it's also about the relationships you build. Remember his mentor's advice. Your network is your net worth.
Oh yeah, that's so important.
It's a reminder that building a strong network of supportive people, it can open doors and create opportunities you might never have imagined.
It's about cultivating genuine connections,
Right.
not just transactional ones.
Mm-hmm.
It's about investing in relationships,
Yeah.
supporting others. It's about collaboration, not competition.
And that brings us to another key takeaway,
Which is,
the importance of impact. It's not just about achieving personal success, it's about making a positive difference in the world. Wode Maya's story, it shows that we can align our passions with purpose and create work that truly matters.
and that purpose doesn't have to be grand or world-changing.
Right.
It can be as simple as inspiring one person
Exactly.
or making a difference in your local community. The key is to find something you're passionate about
Yeah.
and use your skills and talents to make that positive contribution.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, I hope you're walking away with not just admiration for Wode Maya's success,
Yeah.
but also some practical tools and inspiration to apply to your own life.
Me too. Whether you're a content creator, an entrepreneur, or just someone who wants to make a positive impact, there's something to be learned from his journey.
There is.
His story reminds us that with hard work, dedication, and that commitment to authenticity, we can achieve amazing things.
We can. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Yes, thank you.
We hope you found it insightful and motivating. Until next time, keep learning
Keep growing.
and keep striving to make a positive impact in the world.